Good morning, everybody on YouTube. This is Rick Thomas from Obsolete Video Services. Today, I thought I'd do another follow-up on this fish tank from a Cartrivision machine that I'm restoring from the 1970s or early 70s. As I spoke, I'm trying to recap or put replacement capacitors on all the boards on this machine. Been pulling the capacitors out. These things are a complete nightmare. They're completely dried out. This thing was in a seriously poor storage environment of some kind of shipping container or something like that in Florida or wherever. The humidity has really done damage to this machine. But anyways, we got a donor scanner coming in August from a fan, and we're going to try to combine that scanner with this updated recapped fish tank or restored fish tank to get a working Cartrivision machine so we can do Cartrivision transfers. Like I said, guys, I don't do anything half-ass, especially on something like this. If I identified the problem, I don't exactly like recapping a machine. It's a real pain in the ass. But unfortunately on this, I'll take the time to do it because of the rarity of the machine. But as I spoke yesterday, I believe, got done changing all the capacitors out and all the boards. As you can see, there was an awful lot of capacitors on this particular fish tank, which I had to swap out. The values were way out of tolerance. I mean, these things were way off. So I swapped all those out. And the lucky find is I had 3 capacitors which run the power supply right here. It's 1, 2, and 3. I was able to find the exact original replacements. These are like twist lock type capacitors. They're big giant cans. I found the original OEM, the original capacitors that was used on this machine when it was new. They fit exactly. These are brand new replacements coming. I'm probably going to have one of them today, and I'll have 2 more in about a week. But I took these capacitors out. They were in the power supply, and they also were dry as a bone. Values were off the charts, so we're swapping those out with brand new ones as well. But I did find the original large can capacitors, snap-ons, that went with this unit when the machine was made in 1970. I was blown away, and these are brand new old stock, so they're not old replacements. They're new ones that they made at some point that are like they were new and they're high quality, but they are the original replacements for this machine. So we're going to be replacing the 3 power supply capacitors. I got one of them coming today. Couldn't believe I found those on eBay, brand new old stock. They're tested, and they were lab tested that they are going to work just fine. But I took those out, those capacitors out, cut them open, read them with a meter, and oh my God, the values were off the charts. Again, guys, when you have electronics, do not store this stuff in like storage lockers, things like that, in high heat, humidity, or very cold environments. Because after a while, if you got electronics sitting in storage, especially for years like this thing is, the capacitors get all funky, they dry out, they get a lot of moisture. Capacitors is just paper material with an anoid type of material that's got liquid in the center of it, which keeps the electrons moving back and forth, sort of like a battery. But when that dries out, they don't work right, and the values go off the charts, and they can get resistance, and they're just a real nightmare. As you can see on this particular tuner, it's the tuner for the scanner, which I kept. I'm putting brand new capacitors on this as well. I've got 2 new ones in place already. I got 1 more I'm waiting on. But as you can see, we're not going to half-ass this machine. We're going to get all the capacitors changed out so we have a solid electric flow through the machine when I start to use it and power this thing up. I want full power. As they say on Star Trek, full power, Mr. Kirk, okay? That's what we do here, or Scotty, as they would say. You know, if you don't have full power, things don't work. Capacitors, these are like filter caps. I know they're filter capacitors, but they filter through the whole machine. And when you got electronics and electricity going through every component, you want it to work properly. It's just, people don't understand. Capacitors are filter caps for noise, but they do take a charge and they discharge an electrical charge. So you can't go wrong by rebuilding it, especially something like this in poor condition. So again, guys, this is another part to the repair of the Cartrivision machine. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we're making a lot of progress.